Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited to have you here in my masterclass where you're going to learn a revolutionary strategy that will take 13 years off your learning curve and help you create a winning fashion label. I'm dialing in from the first floor of our factory in Shanghai, so we may have some factory noise and some people running around. I'm often asked, Julia, what is a winning fashion label? Okay, here it comes. A winning fashion label is 1. Profitable, with 6 figures annual revenue or more. 2. Supporting comfortable lifestyle for its owner, meaning that you can pay yourself a decent salary as opposed to bootstrapping for 10 years, you know. And 3. A winning fashion label is sellable. Shall you decide to sell your business down the road, there will be partners interested in buying it. Sounds good? Let's start. I would love to ask you this one question. If you meet a wildcat in the dark and you cannot see it, who of you two will have dinner? Who will be fed? Succeeding in fashion business is like spotting a wildcat in the dark. There's a strategy to it, and this is exactly what I'm going to teach you. If you are watching this masterclass, you are about to embark on your journey as a fashion inventor. This is a very exciting and even a little scary time, and at the same time, one of the best experiences known to the mankind. In this masterclass, I will be talking about secret things. In fact, they are so secret that a lot of people from the industry would not like me for telling you that. And in the short term, it would be better for me not to tell you this information either. As a fashion manufacturer for new fashion labels, I could maximize my short-term profits by telling you the usual BS, but I won't because it would go against my nature. So breathe in, breathe out, and get ready. I will be very honest with you. The chances of a new fashion label to succeed are very slim. 99% of all new fashion labels fail. How exciting is it to start a new venture, to dare and finally enter the fashion arena, to show yourself and the world that you can, no matter how scared you are, to design your creations in a constant state of flow. The short moment of happiness, and then nothing. Emptiness, disillusion, failure. 95% of new fashion labels don't survive the first year. 2% suffer painful crash in the year number 4. Another 2% turn to Walking Dead. Like the Walking Dead, they're plodding along with no major breakthroughs, praying for a change of fortune. And I can understand. I've been there. Failure is horrible. Why? Because failure has a horrible face. For a lot of us, failure has a face of our family member, 4 words printed all over it in block capital letters. I told you so. And no, it is not designer's fault. In the world where blind lead the blind, falling off the cliff is an inevitable experience. Unless you travel the road less traveled by, and that will make all the difference. By the end of this class, you will master the hands-on, fun, and focused market entrance approach that helps new fashion labels, 1, to create profitable 6-figure business within 18 to 24 months from the start, something that 99% of new fashion labels never achieve. 2, to optimize initial investment as opposed to burning through your capital in 3 to 12 months' time, as 95% of all new fashion labels commonly do. And 3, to generate sales from the very moment of the brand launch, as opposed to waiting for 2 seasons in order to be approved by the fashion buyers and store owners as a safe label to buy from. And most importantly, to 50x your chances of success. If your current chance to succeed is 1%, let's make it 50 because you deserve a fair advantage. At this point in time, if I would be you, I would be asking, who is talking? It is important to know who you are learning from. Even more important than what you are learning from this person. Who am I? My name is Yulia Antufiev. I am a fashion inventor and a fitness enthusiast. This is me on the right, together with legendary Mark Victor Hansen, the author of The Chicken Soup for the Soul. We have written a bestseller together called Boom. This book came out as a collaboration between Mark and 15 world's leading entrepreneurs and professionals. In this book, I share my explosive techniques about how to launch your fashion brand in 90 days. This golden feather next to the book is a Golden Kili Award, which I've received for our best-selling book. That's me again topping the list of 10 game changers selected by Brian Tracy and published in the Wall Street Journal. Enormous honor to be chosen by Brian, the master of sales, great author, great speaker, the legend himself. Although I'm well recognized as an entrepreneur, fashion manufacturer, and author, it was not always as sunny as it is today. In fact, it was very hard not so long ago. For the past 13 years, I have been running high-quality fashion manufacturing for more than 200 new designer labels, watching them belong to one of the 4 groups. Lazy cats, crazy cats, walking dead, and cats that are fed. Group number 1, lazy cats, open their business and close it down in a matter of 3 to 12 months. 95% of labels follow this scenario. The reasons for closing are mostly lack of commitment by business owners and cash flow deficiency. Group number 2, crazy cats, have tremendous commitment. They are crazy in the best sense of this word. Their hard work and commitment are rewarded with moments of major breakthrough, such as winning grants in designer competitions, being allowed to expose in the most prestigious fashion trade shows, such as Stranoy, fashion boutiques interested in their collections. It looks like they are succeeding. That's up to the year number 4. Unfortunately, by the year number 4, crazy cats burn through their capital and close down, all burned out and deeply in debt. Reason: chronic cash flow deficiency. 2% of labels follow this scenario. If a crazy cat does not close down by the year number 4, it turns into the group number 3, walking dead. There are 2 types of walking dead. The first type are business owners who have an on and off commitment. For some time, they are very committed, followed by periods of total lack of commitment. This group continues struggling year in, year out, beyond the 4 years period without any major breakthrough. This group also suffers from chronic cash flow deficiency, with one important difference though. All walking dead have a life partner who is taking care of their primary needs for security, food, and shelter. 2% of labels follow this scenario. The second type of walking dead are the crazy cats who failed by the year number 4 but managed to continue carrying a large debt. They have exhausted the capital resources, no further loans are being approved. What makes it possible for them to continue? Again, tremendous commitment and a life partner who is taking care of their primary needs for security, food, and shelter. Now they are developing only one smaller collection in 2 years instead of 2 full collections per year, without expensive trade shows, fashion week, showroom services, PR agencies, and own store spaces. They mostly restrict their distribution channel to an online store, trying to achieve new results by following heavily trimmed down, but in essence the very same strategies that made them fail. It seems they are walking, but in essence they are dead. And there is group number 4, cats that are fed. These are the ones who made it. Cats that are fed succeed in a matter of 18 to 24 months from the start, purchase a new house, get married and give birth to a child, and then go for even more growth. 1% of labels follow this scenario. So what does it tell you? That only few do succeed? Maybe. That you want to know what does group 4 do differently? That's a great question, and we will come back to this question later in this class. Well, actually, among other things, this story of mine tells you something very important, namely that at the end of the year number 4, we, the manufacturer, have experienced a huge crisis. I can laugh about it all I want right now, but back then it was nothing to laugh about. In fact, this crisis was so large that it did shake my whole world and changed me forever. I will never be the same. Never. In the second year of operation, we have understood that it does not make any sense to focus on lazy cat labels. Instead, we have focused on the labels with extreme commitment, groups 2, 3, and 4. And then the horrible year number 4 happened to all of us. At the end of the year number 4, crazy cats, the second group, have thrown in the towel, one after another. This was an extremely difficult situation. It was extremely painful, and I'm getting shivers all over my body thinking about it right now. It was extremely painful to see label owners we have been working with for 4 years straight, labels we have put our whole soul into development of, going suicidal, going deeply burned out, incapable to continue, even stealing tons of our money out of pure desperation. It was a time of a serious crisis. I had to restructure my whole business. The theft by one of the crazy cat customers caused an irreparable damage. My former business partner basically abandoned me, all scared to deal with the debt we were left with. It was horrifying. And I remember this one dark night, me standing middle in the rice fields deep in rural China, asking my guardian angels for guidance, asking them this one question: what does group 4, the ones who made it, do different to any other group, and how can we model it? And the answer came. This is why I'm here today, to tell you this one insight I have got in the dark night alone in the rice fields. The insight that changed my life, allowing me to work 100% on my terms. The insight that allowed me to create something incredible. The insight that allowed me to see the wildcat in the dark. Just before we jump into a massive content, I have got to say this. Results are not typical. This is a standard disclaimer we have to go through, pretty much saying that I will walk you through our approach that makes it possible to create a profitable 6 figures business within 18 to 24 months from the start, to optimize initial investment, to generate sales from the very moment of the brand launch, and most importantly, to 50x your chances of success. Such results are certainly not typical, and the average person who attends trainings like this doesn't take any action on what they learn and therefore gets 0 results. However, I'm still excited to show you exactly what's working for those fashion designers who've made it. This is absolutely not a get-rich-quick system. Of course, you need to put it into work to get results, and I'm committed to help you, okay? So, are you ready? Let's start. The ultimate insight I've received standing middle in the rice field and asking for guidance was the key difference between the groups 1, 2, 3 and group number 4, where groups 1, 2, and 3 are those who closed early, went bankrupt in the year number 4, or turned into walking dead, and the group number 4 is the group who made it. So here it comes. All those who failed were fashion designers. Let it sink for a moment. All those who failed were fashion designers. And all those who made it were fashion inventors. Yes, all those who made it were fashion inventors. There are two key differences between fashion designers and fashion inventors. I call these differences key success factor 1 and key success factor 2. Key success factor 1 is the size of their product portfolio. And I have to say, there's nothing subtle about it. Those who failed had anything between 48 and 240 new products every year. New styles, you know. They would create 2 collections per year, 24 to 120 new styles per collection. And those who made it, on the other hand, would run one single fashion product year in, year out. In different colors it is, but one and the very same product. If anything, you should feel relieved. Those advisors telling you about 2 annual collections necessity may retire. Forget it. All you need is one fashion invention and maybe a little bit of entourage. Key success factor 2 is the functionality of the product. The ones who failed were designing garments with a general garment functionality. A trouser to be worn as a trouser. A dress with one single functionality of being a dress. Those who made it, on the other hand, were developing a product which solved one particular, well-defined, real or imaginary need. To give you an example, our wearable energizer, Perfect Tights by Coco Tomate, solves a well-defined need of women to be fit. Perfect Tights helps women beat fatigue, have more energy in life, and turn their fitness program to success. Not to mention that it is a second skin-like, impeccable pair of tights that don't peel, don't change color, don't stretch out, don't slide down while walking, hide all skin and shape imperfections, and give you a perfect pair of legs. An example of a fashion invention addressing an imaginary need would be underwear with butt enlarging inserts. Having a small butt is an imaginary problem. Nevertheless, such underwear improves people's quality of life. If I would be you, I would be thinking right now, how can you run a fashion brand with only one product? The answer is successfully. I would venture as far as saying that even if you have been selling full garment collections for some time, if you have started out making 1 or 2 collections per year, you may become exponentially more successful by taking out one top performing product from your portfolio and focusing on selling this one product only. I bet some of you are thinking, that's insane. Right, this is the insane simplicity of success. Let's compare 2 business models in more depth and think about it for a second. The main difference between a fashion inventor and a fashion designer is focus. All activities carried out by fashion inventors are focused around one single product. Those activities are like sun rays gathered through a magnifying glass and focused on one single spot. Those rays of focus spark a cash flow fire with a tremendous speed. Fashion designers, on the other hand, are forced to spread out their focus across a large product portfolio, and therefore they fail getting sustainable results. Every fashion invention is developed around a certain well-defined and present pain or need. The purpose of a fashion invention is to solve this pain or address this need. This pain may be real or virtual, but it is there. Fashion inventions are almost like medical remedies. A belt, which keeps your pants up no matter what. A super lightweight bag that fits business, sports, and baby stuff without them all being mixed up. Perfect tights infused with castor oil that help you to beat fatigue, have more energy in life, and turn your fitness program to success. Fashion inventions enhance our daily life experience, and therefore we will continue buying them. The marketing strategy for fashion inventions is straightforward, and competition is irrelevant. Fashion designer products, on the other hand, are quite generic and therefore face a lot of competition. Fashion inventors invest one time into the single product development, packaging development, and marketing kit. Fashion designers invest into up to 240 new products every year, including development and presentation. Single fashion invention manufactured in volumes enjoyed a healthy retail markup of 5 to 10. A fashion designer, on the other hand, is lucky if she can triple her manufacturing price in retail. She has no economies of scale in manufacturing and is dependent on low-quality craft operators due to low order volumes. Shelf life of a fashion invention is very long and can be measured in decennia. Shelf life is the amount of time consumers see product as fresh and continue buying. Shelf life of a designer fashion is very short. It has to be presented and sold in a very narrow pass of time, 2 months wholesale and 6 months retail to be precise, after which designer product expires, so to say. Fashion inventors attract loyal distribution partners, placing stable monthly orders. Fashion designers are doomed to work with disloyal and moody distribution partners. Each new collection has to be sold to existing partners and new. There is no order commitment whatsoever. A fashion inventor may develop her product at any time when she feels like, no pressure. A fashion designer is bound to the very strict, pitiless fashion calendar with enormous pressure to develop and present on time. Fashion inventions require limited investment, are easy to handle once up and running, and are very understandable to investors. Designer fashion, on the other hand, requires high investment, is very stressful, short life cycle, and completely not understandable to investors. Fashion inventors tend to set up a profitable business within 2 years' time. After that, they get married, have kids, purchase homes, travel the world. The list is long. In other words, 2 years after initial setup, fashion inventors do whatever they feel like. Fashion designers tend to close down latest at the end of the year number 4 due to the chronic cash flow deficiency and total personal burnout. More often than not, they are left with a broken dream and a pile of debt. What to do then? How to succeed in the fashion business? How to see a wildcat in the dark? The answer is clear. Focus. Become a fashion inventor, a cat who is fed, the wild cat. To launch a winning fashion label, you have to become a fashion inventor. You have to invent an iconic product that your clients will want to buy for another 50 years and even beyond that. To see the wild cat in the dark, you have to become the wild cat. Now you are thinking, right, great, but how do I know that it works? For me, the proof that it works comes from 13 years experience working with the new fashion labels. I see clearly that all our clients who made it have invented an iconic fashion product and are fashion inventors. And all our clients who failed, which is 99% of the total group, were fashion designers running fashion collections. But there is something else I need you to know, a well-guarded secret that will blow your mind. Every famous fashion brand is powered by one or few iconic fashion inventions. Often one single iconic product helped the brand to break through, creating a solid cash flow to finance further developments. Do you recognize this dress? A printed jersey wrap dress invented by Diane van Furstenberg in 1974 was the first product she developed and brought in her suitcase to the United States. To date, the brand had sold over 10 million dresses and the product shelf life is 46 years and counting. If you study great fashion designers, you will find that everyone has iconic products, the cornerstone of their brand. I suggest you follow the same path and start your brand with an iconic fashion invention. Now that you know the key strategy to launch a winning fashion label, would you like to learn what to do next? The process is quite simple and consists of 3 steps. Step 1, define your fashion invention. In order to do that, first identify fashion category you are most passionate about. For some of you, it will be dresses. For others, skirts. For me, it is leggings and tights. Once your favorite fashion category is identified, define your biggest pains with this category. For example, you love dresses, but it is almost impossible to find a dress that makes you look elegant and professional at work, that fits well, feels great, is super easy care, and covers little imperfections such as baby belly. And now that you know what it is you are missing, simply invent it. Once your fashion invention is defined, you go to the step number 2. This is where you develop your fashion invention. First, you send your invention specifications to the manufacturer. Together with the manufacturer, you develop a prototype and run your first bulk order. Once your bulk is done, you go to the step number 3 and launch your winning fashion label. The process is quite simple. However, I understand that it may seem very difficult from where you are right now. Because you have taken action today and stayed with me through the whole masterclass, I would love to give you a gift I wish I had when I started out 13 years ago. My gift to you is a free discovery call where in 30 minutes time, I help you to define your life-changing fashion invention, the cornerstone of your winning fashion label. Normally, I charge $500 for this session, but today it's yours for free. This is my gift to you. Are you excited? I'm extremely excited because I know how powerful this session is. And if you then decide that you want extra support from me, then we can chat about my Fashion Invention Bootcamp, a program where we physically help you developing your fashion invention. At the end of the bootcamp, you have a fully prototyped fashion product in your hands ready to launch. But there is no obligation to do that. So I do have to tell you, though, it is not for everyone. I only work with people who are coachable and motivated. And what I mean by that is, if you just want to help with clothing manufacturing, but the idea of focusing on one fashion invention is something that does not really resonate with you, then it won't be a good fit for you. Because I found that for you to get real results, you actually have to focus on one iconic product. Also equally, if you are the kind of person who is excited about becoming a fashion inventor, but you are not really willing to back it up with action, then it is not for you either. This is really for people who are excited about inventing a life-changing fashion product and are action takers. If you are an action taker and you are ready to take that next step, then here's what I want you to do. Click the button below this video and it will bring you to my calendar. Pick the time that works for you, answer a few questions about yourself, and book the call. During the call, I help you define your life-changing fashion invention, the cornerstone of your winning fashion label. The call lasts 30 minutes and is yours for free if you are a true action taker and claim your spot today. So it's all pretty straightforward, but I do have to warn you, spots are pretty limited. And this is because I'm personally doing the calls. So I'm putting in that one-on-one time to get you the quickest results. And so please book it right away so you don't miss out on the time slot. I would love to wrap up today's session with frequently asked question. Question number 1, is one fashion invention really enough? Answer, absolutely. Question number 2, I don't know what my fashion invention could be. Answer, it is my pleasure to help you. Click the button under this video and schedule your free discovery call. In 30 minutes time, I'll help you define your life-changing fashion invention. Question number 3, shall I abandon my fashion collections in favor of one fashion invention? Answer, focus on one fashion invention generating 90% of sales revenues and use other best-selling products, maximum 12 as entourage. Question number 4, can I succeed without my fashion invention? Answer, most unlikely. Your fashion invention is the cornerstone of your winning fashion label. To wrap it up, I just want to say you are only one fashion invention away from a winning fashion label. And I'd love to help you make this shift as quickly as possible. So if you are ready to become a fashion inventor, then go ahead and click that button below to book yourself in. Thank you very much for being here with me. If you have any questions, please write to me at support@quantumfactory.net. Much love, and I look forward to meeting you on the call.